Welcome back. Now it's time for our daily press review. Delighted to be joined here in the studio with Mrs. Suzy Geneidy, Deputy Editor-in-Chief of Al-Ahram Al-Arabi magazine.
Good morning, my dear.
Good morning. And we start with local press from Al-Masri Al-Yawm. We read, upon U.S. request, Al-Sisi meets Obama. A source said the U.S. administration had sent a request to President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi to meet President Barack Obama on the sidelines of the 69th round on the UN General Assembly meeting. El-Sisi arrived at New York on Monday to take part in the meetings of the UN General Assembly and on Climate Change Summit. The same source said that El-Sisi accepted the invitation and is likely to hold the meeting on Thursday. How do you see this request by the United States and its significance?
Of course, the usual thing is that the President of the United States usually doesn't meet any president, because usually there are more than 54 presidents who are attending the UN meetings every year. So this is a unique thing that's happening, that usually Obama meets the presidents on the corridor or just in a sidewalks or something, just shake hands, talks for 2 minutes, and that's it. But a special meeting that they requested from Obama to President Sisi for at least 1 hour is something special and something unique, and it reflects how the United States sees now or views now the Egyptian role in the Middle East, and they have are maybe coming back to understand how can Egypt be very useful to them and to their interests in the Middle East.
And how do you see Egypt's role in the coming period on the international level in light of this Sisi's visit to the United States?
Of course, this visit, it's like as if the whole world is seeing the President Sisi and the Egyptian role in a different way, as used to see or to criticize Egypt for a long time, for maybe more than 1 year. Now we have been bearing their criticism, but now it's a new picture of Egypt on international level. Egypt is coming back to its role as a very unique and powerful country in the Middle East, not only just powerful by political role, but also cultural role and other roles. The President Sisi visit and attending the UN meetings is very important this year, especially this year. As I have been seeing, most of the presidents are asking to meet President Sisi. And it reflects how they admire the Egyptian role and how they admire the President Sisi attending the meetings in the UN.
Okay, and moving to Al-Ahram Online, where we read UN Chief Ban Ki-moon discusses regional crisis, protests low in talks with President El-Sisi. The President and UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon looked at means to bolster Egypt-UN cooperation and issues of mutual interest, including on Libya and Gaza, as they met in New York on Sunday. On Gaza, both leaders agreed on the need for a sustainable ceasefire in the recently war-stricken Palestinian territory and for a political process that achieves durable peace. After a 50-day war in the coastal enclave, which ended with a truce on 26th of August, killed over 2,140 Palestinians, mostly civilians, and 73 Israelis, mostly soldiers. The UN top leader condemned also a terror bomb attack in central Cairo on Sunday that left 2 policemen dead, the latest in a series of militant attacks targeting police and troops. Okay, how do you see this meeting, and tell us more about his agenda and expected meetings?
I think he has a lot of expected meetings, President Sisi, and his agenda is full of a lot of meetings. First, he started with Ban Ki-moon, the UN chief, Secretary of the UN, and then we have, I think we had
Jordanian King, right?
The Jordanian King, yes, and he will have another meetings. One of them will be, of course, President Obama, and other meetings, very important meetings coming ahead. The Prime Minister of Ethiopia, we understand that there is another meeting coming on, and others. And this is very important, of course. This UN Chief Ban Ki-moon meeting with President Sisi is a unique one also. It's very important. Ban Ki-moon have celebrated or saluted President Sisi when he won, even before the real declaration of that he has won the presidency. There was a saluting from Ban Ki-moon. There were an invitation from him to President Sisi to attend the UN meetings from the first day of his presidency. And now, of course, Ban Ki-moon is so interested in Egypt. I have seen this myself. I have met him, and I have seen how he is so keen about what's happening in Egypt. He's always keen about meeting the foreign minister. Before it was Nabil Fahmy, and now Sameh Shukri. In every meetings or every gathering that he's in with them, he wants to ask a lot of questions and understand a lot of things about Egypt. Of course, not only concerning Egypt, but also concerning the situation in the Middle East. We have now the Libyan situation, ISIS situation, and Syria and Iraq situation. We have Yemen with the Houthis going to Sana'a. We have Gaza, of course, which is very important, what's happening and what the Egyptian role to settle for, to have a ceasefire there. There will be another meetings, I think, today with Palestinians, Hamas and the Palestinian Authority, and then on the other hand we're going to have another meeting with the Palestinian delegation and the Israeli delegation. So it's very important. Also, Ban Ki-moon was so interested to hear from President Sisi about the internal affairs of Egypt. He asked for, of course, getting out some of the journalists, and President Sisi have made it very clear to him that the judges system in Egypt is unique. It's free. No one can pressure it. So he can't interfere in any judge statement.
About activities of the foreign minister?
Yes, the foreign minister had a lot of actually meetings, and also he had a lot of speeches that he have done yesterday and the day before. He have met in Thursday in Washington before going to New York. He have met with the foreign minister John Kerry, and he has met with the advisor, the security advisor to the President Obama. He had also after going to New York, he had a lot of meetings, and I think he yesterday had maybe 3 speeches in certain meetings there. So it's very important, this visit, I think, and we were looking ahead for another meetings, inshallah.
And still with Al Ahram Online, and we read Egypt's irrigation minister Hossein Moghazi visits Ethiopia's Grand Renaissance Dam. Egypt's irrigation minister had a tour with his Ethiopian and Sudanese counterparts to examine Ethiopia's Grand Renaissance Dam. The visit is considered the first by an Egyptian official to the dam's construction site since it first began on April 2011. The dam has been a source of concern for the Egyptian government, who fear the water supply will be affected by this construction. Tripartite talks have been ongoing between Egypt, Sudan and Ethiopia to discuss the effects of the dam. Okay, to what extent this visit will help in the issue of the dam, and it will help also in having a clear picture on what's taking place on the ground, the dam itself?
This is very important. This is the important thing about this visit. It gives us an impression about what's happening, because Ethiopia have make it all as a secret. Especially what's happening on the ground concerning building of the dam. What is exactly is the dam going to be consist of? Is it only one dam or 2 dams, one small and one big? Everything was a secret, and we were trying and pressuring to get some information. But now, after the talks and after the meeting between President Sisi and the Prime Minister, Ethiopia Prime Minister, I think on the in the African summit, they have reached an understanding between the 2 countries and with them Sudan, and now this is one of the outcomes of this meeting. This is a very important visit, and it will give us more information about what's happening. The visit of not only the visit of the irrigation minister, but also the Ethiopian have accepted to give us some of the real picture and the real how this dam is going to be designed and it's going to be built. So it's very important to have those information and try to analyze it and understand more.
And moving to Al-Yom Al-Saba, and we read that Abdel-Ati said the Turkish Foreign Ministry requested to meet Egyptian side. Foreign Ministry spokesman Badr Abdel-Ati said Turkey requested an official meeting with the Egyptian side on the sidelines of the 69th round of the UN General Assembly in New York. He added that Egypt accepted the Turkish invitation, noting that the Egyptian acceptance came as there is no hostilities between Egyptian and Turkish peoples. How do you read this move by the Turkish side and this invitation to the foreign minister?
Turkish are usually pragmatic. They see their interests. And their interest is not to have hatred between the Egyptian and the Turkish people, and not to have confrontation all the time between Egypt and Turkish on the official level. Of course, the Egyptian statements always differentiate between what Erdogan is saying and the Turkish